courageous and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
After the death of Old Man Clanton, titular head of the outlaws in southeast Arizona, Doc Holliday realized there would be a contest for leadership of the gang and that Sheriff Bean's vote would be a prize plum. He concocted a scheme to break up the gang by involving its factions in warfare over Bean. But like most of Doc's ideas, this one ignored the fact that Marshal Earp was sworn to uphold the law.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Mayor.
On, Wyatt.
Well, you can't be that thirsty. What's wrong?
Well, town council had a meeting last night, Wyatt.
And?
And they seem to feel you need more deputies. Now, you haven't replaced Shotgun Gibbs yet. Doc Holliday's only one man, good as he is. Well, I told him you were probably already looking around for some help.
Yes, sir, I am. I sent telegrams to Turk Johnson, Jack Vermillion, also trying to get in touch with Neil Brown and Bat Masterson, but I haven't had any word yet.
Wyatt, how about your brothers over in Prescott? I mean, why don't you ask Morgan to come back here and get Virgil to help, too?
I can't do that, Mr. Mayor. They wouldn't just be taking on the job of deputy. Well, having the name of Earp, they'd inherit all of my enemies, too.
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't mind that. Well, they'd be here quick enough if they knew what the real situation was.
Well, I'm glad they don't.
Wyatt, this is an emergency. I think you're too optimistic about the Clanton gang. I don't think just because the old man got killed that it follows the gang is going to break up.
I never said they would. No, I know there's going to be a bitter fight as to who the new leaders are going to be.
Well, we hear tell that Brocious and Ringo have already taken over.
Yeah, Doc Holliday's got the same information, too. But the McLaurys haven't made their move yet. And I think it's going to take a little while for both sides to reorganize.
Well, maybe. Maybe not. Wyatt, would you take it badly if I would ask your brothers to come and help?
Well, I wish you'd wait a few days.
We've held off too long now, Wyatt. All right. The council voted to make Virgil chief of city police. Morgan is his assistant. You see, Wyatt's always being required to go out of town because he's a deputy U.S. Marshal.
Does that still leave Wyatt the Chief John Law?
Oh, of course, Doc, of course.
All right, I'll go over to Prescott and see if Virgil and Morgan will take the job.
Good. Now, as to salary...
Well, that's unimportant. They'll come when they know that Wyatt needs help. By the way, I think it'd be wiser if you told Wyatt that I went over to Tucson. Big poker game.
All right, Doc. When you plan on going?
This evening?
Thelma.
Johnny, we mustn't be seen together.
But I'm proud to be seen with you.
Please, it's got to be my way or else we're through. You get out of here.
Does your husband know you've been seeing Sheriff Bean at Charleston and Galeyville?
Husband? I'm not married.
Why, Thelma, don't tell me you've divorced poor Jimmy Callum.
He's in the penitentiary.
Not anymore. He was released from Huntsville last week.
I don't believe it.
Very well. Just ask Marshal Earp to show you the Ranger's bulletin on the released prisoners.
They told me he got 10 years.
He did, but for the wrong killing. Do I hear the sound of wifely love in your voice?
Oh, shut up. What do you want?
Johnny Bean?
Well, get him. He's right here in town.
I want him out of town. Walk over to the desk gracefully. Take pen in hand.
What if I say no?
What if husband Callum finds out about you and Johnny? Sit down. Sit down. Now, you right. Dear Johnny, meet me at Lover's Leap on the Charleston Trail, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Lover's Leap. That's a neat, ironic touch.
I hope Johnny blows your head off.
You keep away from being any tricks and I won't wait for your husband.
Here. No tricks, Doc.
That's sweet. Very sweet. You know, I don't blame Jimmy Callum for being jealous of you. There are sensible women and bad women. But a bad, sensible woman is a pearl of great price. A black pearl. Let's rest the horses a bit.
Never touch the stuff.
I hope you know what you're doing, Doc.
Doc explained the whole idea, Verge.
I know. Wyatt isn't going to like this. Kidnapping a sheriff. Why don't we forget the whole thing and head on back to Tombstone?
Suit yourself, Virgil. I'm staying with Doc. Explain it to him again.
It's no use. If he can't understand this is the only way to help Wyatt.
Doc wants the Clantons to fight each other. Both sides will claim that the other side is forcing Bean to throw in with them. Don't you see?
Wyatt goes by the law books, Morg.
That's the trouble. Wyatt's always gone by the law books. He's holding Tombstone against a crooked sheriff and too many gunslingers. Unless we start trouble inside the Clanton outfit, your brother's going to lose.
Wyatt may be killed.
Kill him or frame him, the deacon isn't going to believe that, and I can't convince him. Oh, I may be anything else you want to call me. But I happen to be very fond of your brother.
Doc's right, Verge.
They may be at that. All right, let's give it a try anyway.
I got your message, Breckenridge. What's the trouble?
Sheriff Behan's disappeared. Ike Clanton says Ringo and Brocious took him.
Now, why would they do that?
I don't know, Marshal, but this could cause big trouble. Now, you're an officer of the law. It's up to you to find him.
You're Behan's chief deputy. You go find him yourself.
I'm just his office man.
You mean you're scared of the Clantons? Well, don't bother me with it. I couldn't care less what happens to Johnny Behan.
All right, Slowpoke. Now you go down there and tell him to turn Johnny Behan loose. Us Clantons ain't as scared of Brocious and Ringo. McClowery's take care of them any day.
Hold it, Ike! Take their guns. You townspeople, get those men over to Dr. Goodfellow.
Well, self-defense, Earp.
I still want to talk to you. Come on.
You're wasting time, Earp. They might have killed Behan by now.
What makes you think the Brocious and Ringo took him?
Well, he's missing, ain't he? And I ain't got him, so it has to be them. Besides, Doc Holliday told me.
Doc, where'd you see him?
Saw him at Ayers Roadhouse at Charleston this afternoon. What, do you think I'm lying?
Probably. Did Doc tell you why they kidnapped Behan?
Yeah, he told me. Said Johnny owed him $5,000. Now, listen, I know that Brocious and Ringo would like to take over and boss this outfit, and they'd like to get Johnny Behan on their side, too. Well, you just wait till them big boys down in Tucson hear about this. They'll turn Johnny loose fast enough.
Can't you ever keep your big mouth shut?
And Tom and Frank McClowery's on our side, too.
I don't care who's on what side. Now, here's your gun back. I'm releasing your hired hands, too. Now, you go ahead and shoot it out if you want to. Get yourself killed. But you don't do it in Tombstone, you understand? Mr. Clun? You wanted to see me?
Yes, Wyatt. Another of the Brocious Ringo men just died. You know that means more shooting.
I told Ike to keep it out of town.
Well, he can't keep it out of town now, Wyatt. You're going to have to find Johnny Bean to stop it.
Mr. Mayor, Ike himself started that talk about him being kidnapped. He said he got it from Doc Holliday over in Charleston, but he's lying. You told me yourself that Doc was gambling in Tucson.
No, Wyatt. As a matter of fact, I sent Doc over to Prescott to hire your two brothers.
Oh, you did?
Well, now, I knew you wouldn't want to take the responsibility, and I can't say as I blame you for that, Wyatt, but you need help, and you need it fast.
Doc has just been itching for a play like this. He probably took Bean himself and got Virgil and Morgan to help him. Doc Holliday, my best friend.
Wyatt, I don't quite understand you.
Well, ever since old man Clanton was killed, Doc has been obsessed with the idea of getting a fight started between the Clanton brothers and the Brocious Ringo crowd.
Yes, I know that, but why would they bother with Johnny Bean?
Because of his influence with the 10% ring. Both sides must have his support. I know Doc. A gunfight with innocent bystanders getting hit wouldn't mean a thing to him as long as he got rid of outlaws. Hey, I got an idea. Who's that Texas gal that Bean's been chasing?
You mean the little waitress down at the Cosmopolitan?
Yeah.
Thelma...
Conroy. No, not Conroy. Callum. Thelma Callum. Hey, there was a Callum on the last Ranger report. Mr. Mayor, I'll see you.
Who is it?
Marshal Earp.
Go away.
I think you might need help, Mrs. Callum.
How do I know you're really Marshal Earp?
Dr. Holliday told me all about you. I don't think he would have told anybody else.
Come in. What did Doc say?
Nothing.
That was just a trick to get in?
Yes.
Well, you can walk yourself right out.
Mrs. Callum, I've got to find Johnny Bean. If I don't, the top will blow off this whole town.
Well, that's just too bad. It's your town, not mine.
I think Doc Holliday kidnapped Sheriff Bean, and I think you helped him.
Got any proof?
No?
I don't know a thing, Marshal. Now, would you please go?
Doc had to lure him out of town some way. Did you see Johnny? Mrs. Callum, I said that you might need help. That was the truth.
Oh, sure. Or else you'll tell my husband about Johnny. Doc's already pulled that on me.
Oh, he has, huh? What did he ask you to do? Mrs. Callum, have you ever heard of Johnny Ringo, Curly Brocious, the 10% ring?
Yes.
Well, when they want to find Johnny Bean, they won't knock on any door. They'll just kick it down.
And you'll protect me.
I'll see that you're safely taken out of Tombstone.
Stay there.
Who is it?
Marshal Earp. One dead and 5 wounded.
Yes, I saw that. You offered me a deal.
That's right.
I wrote a note for Doc. Johnny was to meet me at Lover's Leap on the Charleston Trail.
All right. There's a stage for Benson in 10 minutes. You can get a train from there. Do you have enough money?
I'll make out. Are you really a church deacon?
A deacon? Yes.
Too bad we didn't meet 5 years ago.
Oh?
I might have joined the church.
You've already made one trip to Charleston.
I'm not going there. I have to see Ringo and Brocious.
What's the sense in that?
I've already stirred up by Clanton. Now I gotta get the big guns to start shooting.
Doc,
Silence. Our sheriff speaks. Go ahead, Johnny.
this is a fool play you're making, and you know it, Doc. There's 100 men looking for me right now.
Sheriff Bean is important.
You'll all go to prison. You can't kidnap an officer of the law.
It's your word against ours, Sheriff.
Save your breath, Morgan.
Let's call it off, Doc. I don't like it.
No, Virgil. The scheme is working just fine.
Well, then, let's move deeper into the mountains. Good trackers can find us here.
I'll be back by noon. Then we'll move.
I'll let you and Morg talk me into this. But it's risky and it's going to get us into trouble with Wyatt.
Breaking up the Clanton gang was bound to be risky, Virgil, but worth it.
If you're not back by noon, I'm going to take that sheriff back to Tombstone.
Fair enough.
We've been waiting long enough. Let's rush him.
No. We ain't sure yet Bean's in there. Besides, Ringo promised to send us more men. Just the two of us might get killed.
Ike Clanton and his boys are just sitting around the birdcage, waiting for Tom and Frank McLaury to show up. About a half a dozen more hoodlums sitting around the Oriental, waiting for Brocious and Ringo to put in an appearance.
And if Wyatt was here, he'd jump him before the Top Guns got to town.
Doesn't show up pretty soon. That's just what we're going to have to do. Now, you make sure you got plenty of ammunition, please.
Doc, you're under arrest. Now, what you've really done is worse than kidnapping Bean. You'd stop and use your head for a minute, you'd realize that Brocious, Ringo, and the McLaurys aren't going to fight each other even for Bean. They're all equally fast with a gun, and they'd all be dead.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing if they'd fight, but they won't. They just send a bunch of hot-tempered young cowboys into Tombstone. The vigilantes are amateurs, but they try and stop the fight. And those are the ones who would get killed, not the big men that you're after. Well, I've said all I'm going to say. Now, where are my brothers and Bean?
I don't think I'll tell you.
All right, then you and I are finished. But you're still acting the fool. You came down that trail. I can go up it.
Hold it, Wyatt. No one's ever talked to me the way you just talked. I'm angry. I think we should settle this right now.
Doc, I'm not going to draw on you. You can shoot me in the back.
Wyatt? Going up that trail isn't going to do you any good. There's a switchback up there with fool even you. Just follow me.
Trailing him. Let's get out of here.
Wyatt and Doc.
Better be. I got 3 cartridges left.
Hey!
You're safe now, Bean.
Wyatt, welcome.
Boy, are we glad to see you.
They kidnapped me, Earp.
I know they did. Virgil, Morgan, Doc, you're under arrest.
Under arrest?
We're your brothers, remember?
I'm aware of that. Untie his feet.
Doc took my coat and I want it back.
Why, certainly, Honorable Sheriff. I went through the pockets last night.
Move out, Johnny. There's another fight starting over you in Tombstone, and I want to stop it.
They're in the bird cage. Let's get them.
Ike Clanton! If you and your men ain't afraid, come on out and we'll have a showdown.
Well, they ain't waiting for Ringo and Brocious. All right, we ain't either. I'm running this show now.
It's time we stepped in.
All right, anytime.
Hold it! Mayor of this town, I order you men to rack up your guns or get out of town.
Who's gonna stop us, Clum? You? Come on, boys. Let's clean up these vigilantes first.
All right, Clinton, you get your men out of town. You start anything again, and we'll finish it.
All right, hold it, boys. Just take it easy. There's Johnny Bean. Looks like he's live and kicking, don't he? We ain't mad at nobody now, Mr. Earp.
Your Honor, I intend to charge that my brothers Virgil and Morgan Earp and Dr. Holliday used force in abducting Sheriff Bean. They held him a prisoner against his will.
This is very serious, Marshal. Sheriff Bean?
Yes, Your Honor. But this is all a big mistake, Your Honor. I wasn't abducted, not at all. Why, I went with Doc to that cabin to play poker. Just a friendly little poker game, Your Honor.
You will make no charges against these men?
Charges? No, sir.
Very well, you're dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Quick, Doc, give me that letter.
I think I should let you suffer a while, Johnny. That's Jimmy Callum, the lady's husband.
Thanks, Doc.
Forget it. My life is suddenly cluttered with good deeds. Now Deacon Earp has two brothers to help him keep me off the gallows. Nauseating, isn't it?
Now, the battle lines were clearly drawn. Wyatt, his brothers, and Doc Holliday had to face the implacable hatred of Clanton outlaws and their ally, Sheriff Bean. As Wyatt himself said, we could stay in Tombstone and shoot it out, or we could turn in our stars and run. They determined to stay in Tombstone, and the approaching battle of the OK Corral would become a great event in their lives. It was fast on its way.
Oh, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.